Is John Tavares really ready to say goodbye to the Maple Leafs? Or are we about to witness one of the most thoughtful deals in modern NHL history? Amid the buzz of rumors and speculation, one question echoes among Toronto Maple Leafs fans. Is John Tavares' spectacular resurgence this season the prelude to his farewell, or the rebirth of a story that hasn't ended yet? With 70 points and 36 goals to his name, Tavares is playing like he's rediscovered the fire that once made him one of the league's biggest names. The curious part, all of this came after the quiet transition of the captaincy to Austin Matthews, which many saw as a potential sign of the end of an era. But is it really? Some experts believe Toronto missed the chance to re-sign Tavares on a friendlier deal last fall. Now, with his value on the rise and the NHL salary cap expanding, the dilemma deepens. Will he ask for a new million-dollar contract that could strain the team's finances? Or will he prioritize staying in Toronto over the size of the paycheck? Sources like Pierre LeBrun suggest that Tavares had already agreed to an extension before the season began. And that says a lot about what he values. It doesn't seem to be about squeezing every cent from the market. Tavares wants to win. He wants to do it at home. And he's willing to negotiate with both his head and his heart. The reality is clear. When his current contract expires, he'll be 35 years old. The era of long, massive deals is over. And if the elusive Stanley Cup is still the goal, he knows it requires balance and sacrifice. Tavares might explore the market, but everything indicates his compass still points to Toronto. Of course, there's always a chance, there always is, that the franchise chooses to go another route. If the playoffs turn into a disaster, everything could change. But until then, the door remains open for a happy ending where loyalty and leadership outweigh AAV. And you, Leafs fan, do you believe Tavares should take less to stay in Toronto? Or would it be better for the team to turn the page and bring in fresh talent? If you like this analysis and want to stay up to date on everything happening with the Toronto Maple Leafs, subscribe to the Leafs News Fan Report and hit the bell so you don't miss a thing. But the truth is, John Tavares isn't just another player nearing the end of a contract. He's the face of an era for the Maple Leafs, a veteran who arrived carrying the weight of expectations and, despite ups and downs, show that his passion for Toronto goes beyond numbers. And now, as he reaches a performance level few expected, Tavares forces us to reflect more deeply. How far is it worth betting on a leader who still delivers on the ice, even with time working against him? The Leafs front office, led by Brad Treliving, faces a strategic dilemma. With the salary cap set to rise, room to maneuver increases. But any misstep could compromise the team's future. Is betting on a new deal with a lower value and smart structure, like a tiered salary contract, the way to keep Tavares while strengthening the roster? Fans also feel the weight of this decision. Some call for immediate renewal as a sign of loyalty and gratitude. Others, more pragmatic, prefer to look ahead and make room for a new generation of talent. On one side, there's heart. On the other, reason. In the middle, a player who still has a lot to offer, but who also knows his time as the leading man is running out. What comes next depends on many factors: playoff performance, long-term planning, and of course, Tavares' own stance in negotiations. He could choose to be the hero who did everything to stay, or the one who, by asking too much, saw the door close. One thing's certain, the next chapter of this story is going to stir the emotions of every Leafs fan, and we'll be here to follow every step. Do you believe Tavares will be part of the team's future, or is his cycle coming to an end? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to follow this saga closely with news, analysis, and behind-the-scenes coverage, subscribe now to Leafs News Fan Report and turn on notifications. The future of the Maple Leafs is on the line, and you won't want to miss a thing. And now, let me open my heart as a Leafs fan. Honestly, I still believe in John Tavares. Seeing this guy wearing the blue and white, battling every shift, even with the weight of age and all the criticism he's faced, makes me respect his story in Toronto even more. He didn't come here to be just another name. He came to leave a legacy. And even with the C going to Matthews, Tavares never stopped leading. But I'm also realistic. We all know the NHL is a business, that the salary cap doesn't forgive, and that sometimes to keep growing, the team has to make tough decisions. What I truly hope is that Tavares understands the moment, that he still wants to stay. Yes, but in a way that helps the team chase something bigger. Because he knows this city wants that Stanley Cup. And so does he. If he agrees to stay for less, with a smart contract, It will be proof that he's truly committed to the team, to the project, and to the dream of lifting that trophy. And, man, if that happens, I'll be the first to give him a standing ovation. Because players like that, who combine talent, soul, and loyalty, are way too rare these days. Now, tell me this. You Leafs fan, do you think it's worth re-signing Tavares? Or is it time to turn the page? And you know what really gets me in all of this? It's thinking about what could have been if the renewal had happened back in the fall, like Pierre LeBrun mentioned. Maybe we'd have avoided all this uncertainty. Maybe Tavares would already have a new deal at a fair price, with his focus 100% on the ice. But like in any Leafs story, nothing ever comes easy, right? And now with the playoffs just around the corner, this decision carries even more weight. If the team makes a deep run, and I believe we can surprise people, keeping Tavares becomes almost a moral obligation. But if things fall apart, we can't ignore the elephant in the room. Age is catching up, the cap is tight, and the next generation is knocking. That's why this moment is so critical. The front office needs to stay cold-headed. Tavares needs to be wise. And us, the fans, we have to stay strong, pushing, supporting, dreaming. Because being a Leafs fan means living between reason and emotion. We want to win now, but not at the cost of the future. We want idols who stay, but not at any price. We want titles, but with identity. And John Tavares, he represents all of that. He's part of that identity. If he stays, let it be as a leader and role model. If he leaves, may he walk out with his head held high, as someone who gave everything for this jersey. And you watching right now, tell me in the comments, would you re-sign Tavares now, even for a lower deal? Or would you wait for the playoffs to decide? Your opinion matters, and here at Leafs News Fan Report, we want to hear from real fans like you. So leave a like, share this with other Leafs fans, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel now. Hit the bell so you don't miss a single episode of this saga only true hockey fans understand. The journey for the Stanley Cup continues, and we'll live every chapter together.